Hi, I'm Rick Kaler. Thanks for joining me. Suppose you've come into some extra cash. You decide to use it prudently in one of three ways. Keeping it in cash, putting it into your retirement plan, or paying off your mortgage. Which is a better option? I usually find the answer isn't always about the money. Paul Thorstensen, an accountant with Cato Thorstensen here in Rapid City, South Dakota, agrees with that. He calls paying off a home loan as much a personal decision as an investment one. The first factor to consider is investment return. Thorstensen suggests that you think of paying off debt as a risk-free investment. He says, because the interest rate is fully deductible if you itemize, your pay down of the debt is exactly equivalent to making a risk-free investment, like a certificate of deposit, that pays you a taxable yield equivalent to your interest rate. Now consider this. If your interest rate is 4.5%, that's a return you will earn on the money that you invest in paying off your mortgage. If this is difficult to visualize, think of it this way. When you pay off your debt, you're actually buying your loan from your bank, much like banks sell loans to one another. You continue to make the payments, only now the payment goes to you instead of the bank. The money you invested in buying or paying off the mortgage is now earning 4.5% for you instead of your bank. Paying down or investing in your own debt is usually much better than keeping your funds in a money market savings account or a certificate of deposit where they can earn 0.5% or even 0.25%. A trickier decision, though, is whether to invest the funds rather than to pay off the debt. While investing always carries some risk, a diversified portfolio with 60% stocks and alternative investments are real estate, commodities, managed futures, and 40% bonds will typically return 6 to 8% over 10 or more years. If you can use your extra cash to maximize a contribution to a retirement account like an IRA or 401k, you will earn 6 to 8% tax deferred or tax free if it's in a Roth IRA, which is better than paying off a debt yielding 4.5%. The younger you are, the more sense it makes to contribute the funds to the retirement account. So if the investments are not in a retirement account, then you must compare the after-tax return to get an equivalent comparison. Now, for example, if you're in a 25% tax bracket and you'll earn 6% on your investment, your after-tax return is 4.5%, exactly equal to what you would earn in our example of paying down debt. In this case, I would usually take the guaranteed investment of paying down the debt. In deciding whether to pay off a home mortgage, there are some additional tax and emotional considerations. Thorstensen notes that there are currently no limitations on the deductibility of loan interest, even by high income taxpayers. Now, the phase-outs, which expired 2 years ago, will come back again in 2013 when and if the Bush tax cuts expire. Thorstensen says, with the phase-out, you will lose 3% of every dollar of deduction for every dollar of income that exceeds about $150,000. For most taxpayers, this won't be a major factor. But probably more important than the investment and tax considerations are the emotional benefits of paying off a home mortgage debt. Thorstensen says it gives one a sense of freedom in that you are not handcuffed to a mortgage. I've never once seen a client, he says, who had a paid off house go leverage it back up and buy a mutual fund. Paying off a home is a great emotional accomplishment. Well, I would suggest that sense of accomplishment may be the most important investment that you can have. Thanks for joining me.